So Scotty, the next question we've got is from Marie Park, and she works at Canopy. And Marie has asked, do you have any tips on how to keep service users, staff, management and stakeholders engaged in co-production?
Yeah, I guess start at the point of involving staff at the very beginning. You said it in the last question, this is not an add-on job role, this is a job role that touches every area of the organisation. And the one thing that makes co-production and service user involvement work well is actually by ensuring it's a whole organisation approach. That works to keep most of the staff, I won't say it always keeps all the staff invested, but it works to keep most of the staff invested. But also alongside that, when I worked at probation, I was Leeds' very first service user involvement coordinator in an office that had nearly 200 staff, in a city that had 280 staff, and it was really difficult working between offices. So the way I challenged that was in each office, I found the people most passionate about it and made them champions. So they were also attached to their job role, they were service user champions. What that meant was that they brought along service users because they were championing it with the people that they were working with. That ensured that people were always coming to the meetings, always giving fresh ideas and always getting involved. And actually when they went back upstairs and they were talking about it at team meetings, it stopped being me talking about it at team meetings. It started being probation officers, offender managers that were talking about it because they were championing it, which then interested other staff, which then interested management. You've kind of got to sometimes do the domino effect and hope that one thing begets the other. We live in a culture where people like to see results first. So sometimes it is about stakeholders and management probably more interested in what results they can get out of this. That's not a problem. It just means that they might have to understand that you might have to wait a little bit longer because there is a process, even though it does look a bit abstract, there is a process. The first part of it is what's called the discovery phase, because you've got to discover where you're at, where the organisation's at and where the staff are at. Now I'm very lucky that I walked into an organisation and been employed by an organisation where the doors are open. I've also done this in organisations, I've actually done it sat between 9 organisations where four organisations had the doors closed to it because I've always done things that way, and changing their minds while the other 5 organisations were working very fast was very difficult. You're trying to temper those that want to move fast while you're trying to turn these into people that co-produce. So yeah, it is understanding that all areas work in combination with each other as well. There's like a symbiosis, between each area, and understanding that if staff are happy, managers are generally happier. If managers are generally happier, the chief exec's very happy because they're getting results. And if the chief exec's happy, the board of trustees are quiet. And if the board of trustees are quiet, they're not saying as much and pushing stuff back down. So keeping that understanding that actually, even though it's a ground-up approach, it goes all the way up and comes back down. So yeah.
And I think it's that communication stuff, isn't it? It's about constantly, like you say, it's an up and down approach, and that feedback. We've put that into supervisions here, so that it's a constant discussion when we're talking to staff and we're doing those one-to-one sessions. I feed that back to the board. You've attended a board meeting, haven't you, to do a bit of feedback. So I think it's keeping talking about it and keeping it alive and keeping that momentum up, which I think we've worked really hard to do that, haven't we? It's that constant momentum, and I think you're right. I think what's really helped some people understand co-production better is seeing it in action and seeing some of the results, and we might have had to wait a little bit for that, but that's been really, really great to see. So we've all got that responsibility, haven't we, like you said, to keep it on the radar, keep it really current, and just keep talking about what we're doing. So I think that's really key as well.
I think COVID's actually helped. The time I was employed, and COVID being the last quarter of a year probably, has helped me be able to shape things the right way, because I've been able to come in and take that proper look around, rather than coming when everything's day-to-day functioning at 100 miles an hour and having to work at everybody else's pace. I've been able to stand in the middle, look at what our assets are, look at what our strengths are, look at what our deficits are, and start to work on that, rather than running to get people involved straight away. Things have been done the right way, doing it this way, and I think COVID's helped with that, to be fair.